Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting things to talk about. Now, I don't know how many of these kind of videos about Nick Walker's new coach I'm gonna have to make. I'm probably boring you with this already, but I got something for you guys today, and I caught this. I don't know how many people actually caught this, but here is the most recent post that Nick made. And as of right now, we don't know who Nick's coach is. There was a lot of speculation, rumors that it is Stefan Kinsel. However, it's not Stefan Kinsel. Martin Fitzwater actually confirmed this on Fu Arabia's podcast. He said basically that after he placed fourth at a Mr. Olympia, 8 other open guys asked Stefan to coach them, and apparently Stefan is not accepting, not all of them. I mean, there's only a certain amount of bodybuilders he can actually accept, especially at that level. You know, he can't be coaching 15 guys for the Mr. Olympia, just open division. But I actually asked Martin if Nick is working with Stefan, and Martin said that no, Stefan is not coaching Nick Walker. He is coaching, however, as we all know, Sean Clarida, and he's most likely going to be coaching Brett Wilkin. But as far as Nick Walker, no, that's not happening. Now, you guys also probably know that Nick Walker's training is done by Jared Feathers, but Nick really specified that on his YouTube channel that Jared Feathers has nothing to do with Nick's diet. So Jared Feathers is not coaching Nick, he's just helping him with his training. And as far as his coach right now, what Nick said so far is that basically he is doing his own diet. However, in this most recent video that he posted on IG, you can see somebody in the background of all of his training videos, somebody who's just watching him, counting his reps, I don't know, helping him out. And Nick didn't tag this guy. Why? Isn't that curious? Well, I actually know who this guy is. His name is Kyle Wilkes, if that's how you pronounce his last name, and he's basically a very popular, very much known coach in the US. So far, he didn't really coach any top open bodybuilders, but he did coach a bunch of really popular guys. It seems like he's coaching a lot of these influencers. For example, he coached the Trent Twins for their show. He coached this guy, whatever his name is, he's also a popular influencer. He coached Jesse James, and as far as like more serious, higher level competitors, he for example coached this guy right here, Anton Ratushny, when he won his pro card and became the youngest IFBB pro, I think, of all time. One of the for sure. So Kyle Wilkes is a popular coach in the US. Again, he doesn't have any top Olympians, any top open pros as of right now. But what he did with these guys, it was a very good job. He was a bodybuilder himself, I think a heavyweight bodybuilder, something like that. And I don't know if maybe he's just, friends with Nick Walker and that's why he's in all his videos and helping him out. But I don't know, guys. It actually kind of feels like Nick Walker would actually hire somebody who is not coaching a bunch of other open bodybuilders who are Nick's competition. The last time he parted ways with Matt Jansen, he went with Dom Super Sliced, who also at a time didn't really have a lot of open guys. Maybe not even one. And Nick was definitely by far Dom's highest profile athlete. The best athlete, basically, the best open guy, the best bodybuilder that he coached. So it's very possible that Nick this time around chose Kyle Wilkes because I guess he knows him personally. He knows what he's like as a coach. Maybe he likes his philosophies, or like they found a middle ground and a way they can work together. And one thing is for sure, he's going to receive all the attention that Nick needs. And I think Nick is the kind of bodybuilder that needs a lot of attention. So this actually makes a lot of sense. And the reason why he didn't tag him is probably because he didn't want people to realize this, because he's probably not ready yet to announce it. Now again, this does not have to mean anything, it's just speculation, just a guess, but I think it's a pretty good guess. And honestly, it would make sense. I think it actually could be a very good decision for Nick Walker. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. Alright, the next thing we got is very interesting. Basically, it's Seth Feroce's comeback. Now, he definitely announced that he's prepping for a show. I think his last show was like all the way back in the early 2010s, so it's been at least 10 years since we saw this guy on stage. And I gotta tell you, in these 10 years, he really didn't lose anything. I mean, maybe you could say that his waist got a little bit thicker, but it was never really super tiny. And Seth is not even that old. I think he's like in his 40s, like early 40s. So he's still young for a bodybuilder. And take a look at his physique right now. He is actually looking really freaking massive, really impressive. Now, back in the day, he was competing in the 212. And he was always struggling to make the weight. He was a little bit too big, a little bit too heavy for the 212. This time around, actually next year, he's going to be competing in the open division. His plan is to do the Detroit Pro, which is the show he's sponsoring, by the way, so it only makes sense. How well will he do? Well, as you can see right here in the caption, he says he's only 5 weeks in. And he spoke about this on Fuad's podcast. Basically, he only recently increased his doses. Basically, all the time he was retired, he was on TRT, and now he started, upping the things a little bit. Not much. He's still on very low doses, but his body is responding like crazy, honestly. He is looking really freaking massive and really shredded at the same time. I don't know how he's doing this, but he's getting bigger and harder and leaner. And I don't know what his plan is as far as like whether he's gonna bulk or stay this shredded the entire year, but like there is still a long time until the Detroit Pro, and he looks like he's 4 weeks out or something like that. Maybe even less. Now, he started prepping for this show at like five weeks ago, but he actually said a couple of months ago, maybe like 4 months ago, something like that. I made a video about it in one of his YouTube videos. He actually said that he plans on competing again, but for some reason, nobody caught that. Recently, when he actually said that he's gonna do the show, everybody was so surprised, like it was news, but he actually said it like 4 or 5 months ago. You guys can find that video on my channel. But now he's taking it more seriously. Only now he started, pushing things a little bit more. And again, he is actually looking phenomenal right now. I mean, as far as the Detroit Pro, I don't know which open bodybuilders are going to be doing it. Do I see Seth winning that show? I mean, I wouldn't bet on it because I don't know what he's going to actually look like. But the way he's looking right now, it's actually looking very promising. He also has great legs. He's not showing them right here, but he has big legs, and like his conditioning is pretty even. Like his back is lean, his glutes are shredded as well. I mean, look at this guy. He's actually big, and he says in this post that he is 225 right now, and I'm expecting he's gonna be around that same weight when he's on stage. I don't think he needs to get any smaller, any lighter than that. He will still probably make more progress and just, maintain this kind of conditioning, get even harder for the stage, of course. And I think he's going to gain more muscle and actually be around that same weight. I don't think he's going to go down to like 212. So I don't know how well will he do. I mean, last year at Detroit Pro, we had Good Vito and Martin Fitzwater, and those guys are really freaking good. It was very close between them, and Martin took fourth at the Mr. Olympia later. He almost won the New York Pro. I guess Good Vito would also be somewhere very, very high at the Mr. Olympia, and that was the first Detroit Pro ever. So I think this year, actually next year, Detroit Pro is going to be much bigger, so it's going to be very difficult for Seth to win that show, but even if he just looks amazing and places like inside of the, top 5 and compares well against the other top guys, it would still be an amazing achievement. Alright, and finally, we got a new physique update from Andrew Jacked a couple of weeks since the Mr. Olympia, and it seems like he's already deep into his off-season. His conditioning is already much worse than it was at a Mr. Olympia, and I like that. I love that, because at a Mr. Olympia, it was very clear that he needed to be bigger in certain areas. Yeah, he's tall, he's wide, he has crazy upper body, but like only from the front and maybe from the back as far as upper body. But like from the side, he's still lacking a lot of that side thickness, and from the back, he's lacking hamstrings, and glutes need to be more separated, so he needs to be leaner and not lose the size, the fullness. So I'm happy that he actually started his off-season so early, and he's actually hopefully gonna push the foot a little bit more, because yeah, I know he's insanely big, he's super heavy, but for that height, he needs to be heavier and bigger. He was, I believe, 315 pounds at a Mr. Olympia, which is crazy heavy, which is massive. But back in the day, if you guys remember, Greg Kovacs was, I believe, 400 pounds on stage. And he was a little bit taller than Andrew Jacked, quite a bit taller, I think a couple of inches. But still, I mean, look at Andrew's hamstring right here. His side leg. He's basically his entire body from the side. He needs to be bigger, unfortunately. And I'm not saying he needs to be 400 pounds, but 350, 350 would actually probably work. If he survives that, and if he doesn't lose the aesthetics. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, he definitely needs to put on more muscle, but like, how heavy does he need to be? I mean, it's probably going to be very difficult for him to like win the Mr. Olympia with this kind of height, unless he brings up those hamstrings and that side thickness and actually comes in super conditioned for the Mr. Olympia. But we'll see. Anyways, right now, it seems like he started his off-season like on time because he's doing the Arnold Classic next year. So he doesn't have a lot of time, but he can make progress. How much progress? Enough to beat Samson Dauda? I don't imagine that happening. But whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, guys, stay tuned. Subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best and bye-bye.